So we have created an autoscaling group and seen that the newly created instances are also getting the changes. So next step that we need to try out is to make a change in our local repo and see if the code pipeline is getting triggered, and also to ensure that newly created instances are also getting the changes. So let us close the unwanted windows for time being. Security group we can close. To scale window. Let this be open. This target group. Okay. So now let us go to code pipeline. So here we are using S11 Autoscale demo pipeline. This was used to reflect the changes that we made in local to our EC2 instance. Okay. Now, when we created this code pipeline, we have used the deployment group that we created under the application name called S11 Emlo Autoscale demo. Okay, and this deployment group, if you remember, is only using one EC2 instance. Let us get into the details. I will explain what I meant. So if you see this deployment group, this is using the application, which is fine, and compute type is EC2 on-premise, that's also fine. Service role, we are using the code deploy role that we created at the beginning of session. Deployment type is in place, that is fine. Environment configuration, if you remember, we have given a single Amazon EC2 instance, which we identified using the key value tag that we created. So right now, if we create a deployment or if we make any changes in the local repository and push it, it will get reflected only in this EC2 instance. That is this parent instance that we are seeing. So there is an option to add an autoscaling group also to the deployment configuration. So this will help us to make sure that whatever changes that we are making, it is getting reflected in all the instances that are tied to this autoscaling group. As you can see, the message is showing we can add up to 10 EC2 autoscaling groups, but as of now we have just created one. So let us select it. So right now we are having two instances running under this autoscaling group. So these will get automatically uh, tied up with this deployment group, and accordingly it will get the changes that reflected. So now we can see that there are three unique match instances. Remember previously it was just one unique match instance. So let us click for detail and ensure these are the right one. 87, 81, 63. 87, 81, 63. Yeah, we are good. So rest of the things, let us leave the load balancing as such here, because we don't want to include a load balancer during deployment. And save change. So deployment group is now changed just to ensure that it is reflected correctly. Amazon EC2 Autoscaling Group and Amazon EC2 instance, both are there. Autoscaling Group and EC2 instance, both are there. Okay. So now let me go and make a change here. I'm going to change this to V3. I'm changing this EC2 ASG5 version with pipeline and adding 3 instances. Maybe when we execute this, more instances will come up based on the rule that we have set. But let us see. As of now, there are 3 instances, so I'm just giving for 3 instances v3. Let me close this. Go to git bash. Add this change. Commit this change. v2 to v3. Git push. Origin master. So we push this code to origin master. Now, like we seen earlier, code pipeline should automatically get triggered. And it did. Let us track the progress. Code commit is already done. Let us see if this changed from V2 to V3 and the additional 3 instances, the statement that we added. It also changed. Now let us go to code deploy. Let's take applications. Which one was that? Autoscale demo, and see the deployments. There should be 3 deployments going on parallelly because we are told to deploy one at a time in the deployment group. So this is the one. First 2 got successfully installed. Third one is getting installed. Let us see how many instances are running. See, one more instance got automatically added. It is mainly because maybe the load balancer might have seen that CPU utilization is going high. So one more instance got added. So 3 instances that was up during the deployment time, those 3 instances must have got the changes, 87, 81 and 63. This one was coming up, so it got skipped. These 87, 81 and 63 must have the new changes reflected. Let us see. Okay, first one for 3 instances, V3 is up now. V3 is up now. Yes, for 3 instances, V3 is up now. Just let us make sure for the original instance if it is working. Yeah, in curl as well it is working. So this way we can ensure that whatever changes we are making to the application, it is reflected to all the autoscaling group instances as well. So currently, if we check this ABF, the deployment was skipped. So most probably this will be having our earlier version, that is V2. No, it is also having V3 because probably even though it is skipped, it may have got the change correctly. Okay, good. That is good. So this is how we make the changes. Just to make sure that our changes are working fine, let us try one more time. I'm giving 4 instances and giving V4. Not sure if one more instance will come up or not, but let us see. Git add, git commit m v3 to v4, git push origin master. Just check code deployment. Okay, new deployment got triggered. Why it took a slight lag is because there is one more step. There is one step to proceed. Initially, it need to go to code commit and then only deployment will start. So now deployment is ongoing. So first instance, that is 63 is getting done. I think 63 is getting done. Let us wait for all to finish and then we can check. As of now, 4 instances are running. As I can see, code instance is with 4 instance v4. We are on 80s. Final instance is getting updated. It is at after install step. I think we should be done. Okay, 4 instances as per code deploy is successfully deployed. Let us see if it is getting reflected. 4 instances v4. 4 instances v4. Change code reflected. Final one. Let us make sure that code is also working. Okay, that one also is fine. So now we have seen that how to make all these changes and how to uh, reflect the changes automatically to the EC2 instance. So in this playlist, actually, we have covered a lot. First is how to create a code commit repository and commit the changes to code commit. Then how to create an EC2 instance and also how to push changes to EC2 instance via manual deployment. Then we created a pipeline which automated this code push process. Then we created an autoscaling group which will create the instances automatically, and based on the CPU utilization, it will create the instances based on the maximum capacity rule that we have given. We have modified our pipeline to ensure that whatever changes we are making in the local is getting reflected in all the new instances that are created under autoscaling group as well, and we verified it through browser. So since I am done with this change, I will be terminating these instances so that I won't be incurring additional cost. I am not under free tier, so I will be incurring cost. So you can terminate the instance through actions, sorry, instance state and terminate instance. And one more thing I want to point out is like there was a launch configuration and few load balancers that we created. Make sure that you are deleting or deactivating them because they will also incur cost if you are not planning to use it. If you are just using this, creating this for learning purpose, better to terminate these instances after your use, or maybe stop instance after your use. So that concludes this playlist. Thanks for watching.